meeting to order. Hold it.
Hold on. You did it too fast.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'll call the meeting to order. Today is July 5th, 2025. June 5th, 2025. We're here to discuss township business. If any public records are required, contact the fiscal officer. Please silence your cell phone. And would you please stand for the pledge of allegiance? Mr. Bennett, would you please?
I'll repeat my honor, sir. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Well, thank you. Matt, did you have a chance to read the minutes?
The minutes, yeah, I did.
We have two sets of minutes to.
I have a question. Matt said he had a question.
Oh, yeah, well, we have two sets of minutes to approve from May 1st, and then the hearing that we had on the 22nd.
Did I miss something?
He's concentrating.
Yeah, what?
Do you have any additions or?
Do you
I
remember?
did
what
have
was allowed?
one. It mentioned about the possible change of occupancy for the annex, and that was already changed to public assembly.
Okay, discuss the issues with the annex building, including the rule.
Yeah, see, I don't have a problem with what they issued with the new certification of the school, of the annex, because that's public assembly. And it was
You need
storage.
for the building to be a public assembly to justify the investment.
What's that?
The last line, Matt better emphasizes the need for the building to be a public assembly to justify the investment.
Right, and that's what they changed it to, was public
Public
assembly.
assembly.
Yeah, as in the
And
annex.
the annex,
The
yes.
annex, not the
Okay.
school. Right.
I think I was,
School they wrote that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it need to be changed?
do I need to change it?
Just as long as it reads that the annex is a public assembly.
Oh, yeah, I'll add the word annex. Okay.
Okay. Motion, Matt?
Second, I'll make the motion.
Matt makes a motion to suspend the reading. I'll second. Oh, with the correction.
With correction, yeah. Okay, John,
Yes.
Matt?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything on the hearing? I think it was cut and dry.
Yeah.
Big motion.
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes for the hearing. Suspend the reading.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Yes.
Fiscal office report.
I don't have one.
Okay.
Just, no. They're always good in the neighborhood. I will, we had problems with the UAN. They missed a whole week of everything we had to. So we have to do that. And, we're just plugging away.
Okay, we will be discussing
I
the,
do have one question. Are you getting hold of Mr. Murdock, or am I getting hold of McCarty for the American Structures?
Okay.
The pavilion.
Okay, what about?
Am I getting a hold of them, or you?
I don't
found
have
the
all that
gentleman.
information. We have to approve it for the
Okay.
vote. I don't have that. So, yeah.
I want to put it on my list if I wasn't.
Yeah, no, right, no, we're good.
Okay.
I forgot my hearing aids today, so bear with me.
No, that's right. I got low voice with everything. We're in good shape here.
I'll make a motion to accept the fiscal officer report.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes. sun today, huh?
So you have something from Bob again?
No, I thought it was for hours, it wasn't the report. She was gonna send it to me, she didn't want to do it before.
Well, I guess we'll just move down that list and talk to Carol Powell.
I guess I got here.
You can take your time, Carol,
Yeah.
we're not in a big hurry. Yeah, you want to make a report for this chamber?
I'm sorry.
Do you want to make a report for the chamber?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I lost, I think the date was the 19th, doesn't matter. The purpose of the chamber meeting was to, one of the purposes was to give the local governments a chance to update the community on their activities. Tammy Meyer, Mantua Village Mayor, was present and reported. The chamber report is as follows. 3 scholarships have been awarded to graduating seniors. The garage sale has been moved to June 13th and 14th. And I don't know why that is for sure, except the Triple Trail Fest is next weekend. And sponsorships are available and being sought for that. The chamber is creating a welcome basket for new residents to the village. I think it's to the village rather than the whole community. I got the impression it was to the village. Jody Fiala is in charge of that. The chamber has donated $2,500 to the village for flowers, $250 to the Triple Trail Fest, and $250 to DMRC for Art on the Hill. Work is continuing on the DORA. I never remember the whole acronym, but it's
Drinking
open.
water.
Pardon?
Yeah, open drinking.
Yeah, open drinking. And there was a meeting at R44 recently, so that everybody could, community members could find out what that was about. We talked about this last time. The rowdy stuff occurs with liquor occurs after dark. And this would be once it'll probably be until dusk or something, so that should be okay. And then the meeting was held at New Adventures School. That was interesting. Last time I was in, it was, I think, the second Easter egg hunt. And it has expanded hugely since then. They now have 9 classrooms. They're 10 years old. They have before and after school programs. And they have a partnership with the county for financial assistance available to parents. The summer camp program is, I think they're signing up now, or they may already have started. And, that will have between 65 and 80 kids per day. So, and the number fluctuates depending on their parents' work schedules and all sorts of things. I think I already mentioned that there was an expansion to the facility that has resulted in a total of 9 classrooms. And it's very nice. It's spacious. It's cheerful. There's bright stuff all over the place. So it was an interesting meeting.
It's been one time since I've been in there, but it was nice then.
Yeah. Well, it's gotten. They are doing a good professional job with it. So
It's got one in Twinsburg too, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think this is a twin or something. So yeah. So I don't have anything else on that. It was a nice meeting. I'm glad I went. You guys were missed.
We always are.
Pardon?
We always are.
Yeah, I know.
We try to go and it's just like, time goes by and I gotta make the commitment to go.
Yeah.
I tell myself I gotta go.
You know, it makes, going means that you're part of the community rather than in absentia. And when you're not there, people can wonder, and not that anybody was nipping about it, but people come up, you know,
No,
why aren't they there?
I agree, and I have gotten invites from the chairman
Yeah,
and told him I was coming and I never did. And
yeah.
I need to do it.
So,
I agree.
but you know, of course, last year, it was, I think, in the Shaler'sville Township Hall. So the trustees, Shaler'sville trustees pretty much had to be there and they were.
And the one we had here, I had.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
but, you know, I didn't say anything about what Tammy Meyer reported because we're the township,
Fantastic.
you know, so, but the village is doing a lot. It's doing a lot. DMRC has made a big difference. And, you know, that was a springboard. So, okay, that's it.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Carl.
Any questions?
No, not for her, but is anybody getting any invitation to the connecting community meetings?
Yes.
What? Connecting community meetings, they call it. It's for the trails, it's for hike and bike trails. I think that's,
Yeah, I get it wrong, and I don't know.
yeah, I've never gotten, it must be going to my township email, which I don't have.
Well,
The person.
we need you to not be so busy.
And fix that.
Come to the office.
5 minutes.
Okay.
How's retirement, Matt?
Yeah, I wish it was. Yeah. So anyhow, I kind of got scolded by Edie a little bit because we didn't have anybody, but you can't call me the night before and ask me to send me when I'm working. You know, I just.
No, yeah, I
Can't do that. So, but I guess there's a lot of mayors and communities that do come to this, so.
That's, yeah, I just decided not to,
Okay.
because I don't want,
Right.
I don't want, you know. All right,
Okay.
Mr. Bennett,
Yeah,
do you have a report for us?
not much to report. All the teams are out. So went from cleaning in there 3 nights a week to 1. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Aurora's out there, and I had Aurora, like Aurora Soccer, they gave a check because I charge them and I don't charge the Crestwood kids. And they gave a check. I didn't even know how many hours they were in there. They gave a check for $1,000, so they were in there.
Well, that was really kind of you. Should
Yeah.
I send them a letter?
Yeah, because I charged them $25 an hour for all the practices they were in there. So.
Were they there the whole winter?
Yes, and they actually, Mantua Soccer dropped out Wednesdays, so she's like, we'll take Wednesdays, so they were there Wednesdays and Thursdays for most of the winter.
Well,
So-
we should just send them a thing.
Yeah, we have it.
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I can get you the contact information. Oh, well, it's here, sign the check. Yeah. That's, yeah. So this is the check for that. Everything else is going good as far as I know. You got it.
Did we ever have that problem we had in the boys' room over there? With
The urinal?
the-
No, it's still not working.
The fourth one, see you again.
Huh?
Is it?
The other one?
No, it's not, just not, the valves are stuck, so.
Okay.
I know Brian's probably, I think we bought 2,
Okay.
and we'll take
Actually, the last person that rented in there said that there was a beeping noise in the corner there, and they thought it was from the defibrillator thing.
it. No, there was, yeah, I replaced the valve.
Okay.
To let you know, Matt, the Board of Elections were there Tuesday and gave us an okay to hold the
The AD.
ADA was good and the rest of it was good, so we could hold the elections in November, so.
Okay.
Anything else, Tim?
What's going on over there? Anything?
Well, we'll be talking about that too.
Okay.
We're gonna have to send it out for public bid, so.
Okay. I had one over there that I had to move over here, because I purposely didn't rent that just in case that wasn't ready, and so, yeah.
Okay, very good. Any questions? No. You don't.
Thank you,
Anything else
Julie.
coming in?
Thank you.
Okay, so we move to trustee reports, new business. Lots to do today. Number one on the list, road levy. We have till August to really,
We have
that is our drop dead date.
That is drop dead date.
And Julia is anxious.
I don't know how long they.
So, what do you want to
We'll just renew it.
just do the renewal?
Renewal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make
I'll
a
get
motion.
him started on the paperwork.
Right.
At least give him a heads up.
Well, and you know what, that may give us a good opportunity to figure out, yeah, we cannot get more tax money. I mean, we can't ask people for more tax money if we're not gonna be proactive on it. We need to really concentrate on, can we do a single hauler? Because we got 5 or 6 trucks every single day, up and down, not counting the recycling. So if we're not gonna get enough money, we have to do something to make our roads last. I mean,
Well, didn't you guys try this before?
we tried to do this 12 years ago, or 13 years, and it became a shouting match. I mean, look, it's up to us to protect the roads. I mean, I gave you some information. We don't have to make a decision today, but we have to really think about it. We really do. Because and just look what it's doing to our roads, and look what it's doing to the,
Yeah, I know, but you know what, John, I don't know that I feel that I can tell somebody who to use for garbage pickup. I don't know, well, if you're, or, I mean, where would it end? Next thing you're gonna tell me I gotta go to Great Lakes to get fuel. I mean, you know, because of fuel trucks.
I don't know if it's gonna be that.
But
But we're supposed to be the stewards to take care of the roads, and we can't do it without money.
I know, I get it.
And look what
It's a
the,
double-edged sword.
right, and look what the winter did to our roads this year, it's horrible. I'm not saying we should do it this year, but we should at least look at it. And I don't want to do anything without Susan being present either, so. Okay, so, like,
Yeah, no, I'll make a motion that we put renewal levy up for renewal. In November.
I'll say,
John?
yes.
Yes.
Next point of contention. The Civic Center bid. So Matt, I did send you a draft on that. I think we should change the wording on the scope and just put it out for bid for the repair of flood damage walls, ceilings, electrical, that kind of thing. And then do 2, replace the gym floor or repair the gym.
Right, they can put it as an alternate.
So, Tarma's insurance adjuster, not the adjuster, but the surveyor, was supposed to come tomorrow. He came today to check out the buildings. And I explained to him about that, that what Tarma is.
The appraiser? The appraiser?
He's an inspector, he comes
He
out
was
and
an
inspects
inspector,
the road.
yeah. So,
Things and make sure the fuel tanks are back.
He did indicate that, yes, the retirement is, and they're waiting for us, so I think it needs to go out to bid because it's gonna exceed $70,000. So we good with that?
You want a motion?
No, not until this is done. I want to do this July 1st, or
July
That
10th.
was the next
Yeah,
one.
hold on.
That was the next one.
Okay.
so Julia needs to extend.
To the 10th?
July 3rd, it's July 3rd,
Yeah,
the next
right.
meeting.
Right.
Last year we had to do it because it was July 4th. So I was going to suggest that it was extended to the following Thursday, which is the 10th.
All right, I make a motion that we extend next month's meeting to the 13th,
10th.
10th, and go
Just
ahead.
add one more thing to the night, thank you.
What happened?
I said, just add one more thing to the night, thanks.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Matt?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to put the bid out no later than the 10th of
That's right.
after our meeting. So.
So what did Terry seem to think about with the insulation? What was he thinking?
He said that he can, so the guy who does the blow-in installation said it's like painting a car. So he can only go so far. He can't go up above the ceiling because he can't get the sprayer.
Right, gotcha.
So he's going to give us a quote for everything from ceiling level on the back wall
Right.
and insulate. Then he's going to give us a price to insulate the whole building. So I don't know if we know.
Well,
So for everybody to know that we had a flood in the Civic Center, and we found out that the insulation was only from the floor to the ceiling, drop ceiling. Everything above that drop ceiling, the cold air was coming from the back. That's what hit the pipes, and that's what blew the pipes.
but we should be able to use blown-in insulation. We don't have to do the spray foam. We can do the blown-in.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah,
Let's get
you
the
just try to
quote
put
from
a batch in it, you know, one down.
Yeah, let's get the quote from him, and then if you don't like it.
Yeah. See what happens.
Because we got to do that before the,
Right, before anything else, before you close it up. Right.
I have a question about that. I vaguely remember, or maybe misremember something about a question about insulation in, I think in the Civic Center, and if you used the wrong kind, it was going to cause deterioration. And that's my foggy memory, but I do remember that. And Jason was still on the trustees, and I think he was the one who said what it was, you know, if, so without doing a lot of research, it might be a quick phone call to him just to check. I mean, the last thing you want to do is spend the money, go to the effort, and have the repair causing deterioration.
right. No, we understand. We certainly would do that.
Yeah.
Intention. But anyway, that's where we're at with that. And we do need to do that before we put those walls in. That has to be fixed. We can't put the drop ceiling in there and still have that void up there where the cold air is.
Would this help you dissuade the bats?
Yeah, bring that up. No, well, we're good. We're not going to make a decision on that just yet. So, let's move on to NOPEC NEC grant. We have to have a grant in. We have about $6,000 that we need to apply for. We have more in there, but we have to apply for the grant money before the 30th of June, which doesn't give us a lot of time. I suggest we use that grant money for heating and air conditioning at the school lane office. Because that's only got a small furnace, no air conditioning.
So we can put a mini split in there.
Yeah, so if we're going to use the money, or if we're going to need to get that money, I think that would be the wise, unless you have something else.
No, you know what, that's probably the way to do that. I would put a mini split in there because that furnace is pretty old, it's in the basement. It's pretty old. So you could probably just DC that and put a mini split.
I'm gonna apply,
It'll take up all your money though.
what's up, my money?
What?
So I'll do that, I'll get a couple quotes. And we'll go from there. So we had the Otama inspection today. The guys from Chicago, we went and Brian called me and said, hey, the guy's here for the inspections. I said, he's supposed to be here tomorrow. He said, oh, he said he was in the neighborhood, so he wanted to stop by. First question I asked him, oh, you want to go home for Friday? So anyway, he did what he had to do. And,
How long was he here? A couple hours?
uh,
How long was he here?
yeah, he did the garage, did both garages, salt shed, this building, Civic Center.
Was he happy?
Wanted to go home.
Yeah.
Sewer project. We are very close to putting the sewers, hooking the buildings up to the sewer. However, before we can have our meeting to get this kick-started, we have to pay the fees, the tapping fees. We're only tapping in one pipe. Civic Center is going to be hooked up to this building is going to tap in the sewer. Portage County Water Resources sent us an invoice for 2 buildings, for 2 tappings on the Philadelphia. So we need to contact them and let them know our displeasure. I don't think that, I think $62 to $110 for a tap-in fee would be in line, but not $13,000. So,
Are they charging you for 3 buildings or 2?
2.
You're charging, put your tie in 3?
2.
Just 2. When we did the condos down there, they charged us 14 tap-in fees. It was $78,000. They don't care if there was one line. They're gonna charge you per building.
Right. And here's my concern. So we're using government funds. The government gave us the money to do this for the health of our people, our citizens, residents. So part of the American Rescue Fund was supposed to go for water and sewer projects, which we did. Well, I don't see how we should have to pay federal funds to another government agency so they can spend it somewhere else. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, we're probably going to lose. We're probably going to.
Well, we argued that same point. We had 14 units, we had one 2-inch line. We had to put a pump station in, just like what you're gonna have to do, and pump it into their line. And they charged every unit owner a tapping fee. It was $70-some thousand. We had to do an assessment. It was ridiculous. And we argued and argued and argued, and they just, this is.
But
what
when you're
it is.
using government funds or private money,
I don't know that they care. I mean, they're there to make money. It's the county. They're there to cover their expenses, and they're going to tell you that we're processing your stuff from 2 buildings, and this is what it is. I mean, maybe because it's a township, they'll work with you a little bit, but I mean, they were like adamant with us. It was no even discussion.
well, they've been, I mean, between the county and CT and us, we're not in the sewer business, right?
But the
We have
county,
to follow somebody.
the county is though.
County is, right? And the county has had I mean, we went from hooking up all the buildings to the sewer to having to do just two, because it just got into a major project, right? Anyway, we're going to send
So what two buildings are you doing now?
Civic Center and Disco.
So they're not the school? So you still have a treatment plant at the school operational and, okay.
But that was not originally what we wanted, but they wanted us to put in the telemetry unit and all that stuff. I mean, that whole building, that was another $100,000, and it just was escalating above what we had from the grant, from the American Rescue Grant.
Yeah,
It just got ridiculous.
Yeah, the last money we got was upwards of 800,000 for,
Well, when we did that condo unit down there, we got 3 estimates. We had to do the pump station. One was 70,000, one was 110, the county was 350.
well, they wanted us to put this big well out there and put a building behind this building, and we were like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that.
But we originally wanted to do that. We wanted to do the school, okay, and then we wanted to do the service department, because, I mean, it's pretty bad that they start using our house. You know, it's unacceptable. But they axed that, so. But we'll get it.
So we're close, we're 95%. I know the contractor called me the other day and kind of singing the blues, but, you know, hey, I purchased all the equipment, we need to have this meeting. I'm like, oh, that's something. One more thing, will Steve Kramer come over and find
The tanks?
the tanks over?
Yes, I don't know how we're gonna do that, but yeah, he wanted to come over and spend some time, because we were there for about 3 hours one day. We couldn't find it.
All right.
I was gonna put dye in it,
Yeah.
but that's not gonna do you any good. They'll tell you where your leach pad's at. That's not gonna tell you where your tanks are at.
Right.
And I talked to Valerie, her sister, Kelly's sister, and she had no clue. She's new that they're in the backyard. That's all she knew.
All right. So I will keep everybody apprised on what's going on. What the county is. Okay. Portage Parks. Graycroft called me the other day and asked me, hey, can you guys give us a permit to do the survey on your roads? And I'm like, I don't know. I said, I can't tell you anything unilaterally. I have to talk to the board. So after we told her that you're not gonna use our right of way, she still wants to come over there and survey it. And I'm like, well, I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I don't care if they survey. I mean, we made the decision. If they want to be on the roads, we can't stop them from being on the roads. It's just, you can't do that. We can stop them from using the right of way.
Oh,
But I don't think you can stop them from using the road way. I would talk to the prosecutor to find out if it's illegal for us to even say either way. Yes, you can, or no, you can't.
yeah, because if we say, yeah, go ahead and do it, then they're gonna say, well, hey, look what they did to us last time when we opened our mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, the trustees are 100% behind us, they told us.
Yeah. I mean,
So I'm just gonna tell them that we decided we were gonna wait until we talk to them.
that's council.
Did you tell her that you passed a resolution that they couldn't run the bike trails through there?
We did.
Yeah.
You told her that?
Oh, yeah, they
So
know
we made
that.
a resolution.
And then, yeah, I know, and then she
Yeah,
still
I-
wants,
oh,
so
yeah,
what's
she
the
knows.
point of surveying, I said?
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
Right.
Because they take those little baby steps.
Right.
And you know what, here's what I did. I said, Christine, the trustees would be happy to give you a venue. If you want to call a public meeting and tell the public what exactly you people are up to. And let them decide what they, see that one?
Well, here's the thing, we've said this 100 times, you know, the hike and bike trail is a good thing. I love it, I mean, people use it, it's a good thing for the community, it truly is, all right? But when you want to run through people's front yards, okay, that's unacceptable. And if you look at most communities, they have a hike and bike trail like we have in Mantua Village and going out into the Mantua Township and then into Garrettsville, higher into Garrettsville, okay? It's on railroad tracks, that's one thing. But to come through people's front yard is totally inappropriate, in my opinion. And then when you have every resident sign a petition and come to our meeting and ask for our blessings to say, no, I have to support that. Because it's your front yards that they're going through. It's the right thing to do. Let them figure out where else they want to run it or how they can run it, you know. So I mean, I'm not against the hike and bike trail, they need to understand that.
No, and the safety factor.
And it is.
With the average trucking over there, you can't.
Right.
And you can't, like you said, you can't stop them from riding their bikes.
No, and it's probably not be worse.
But if you say, yeah, you can use that, you're giving them permission, what happens if, who's gonna take liability? So,
Yeah.
anyway, I know it's a sore subject, but, you know, she's persistent and she,
I have a question. Was she specifically asking the township road at Pioneer Manway Center? Because they could use diagonal up to Mennonite, which are county roads.
Right.
yeah, but, yeah, see, that didn't come up in conversation. They're bent on putting that where they want.
But they do have more options. That's why I'm going to the strategic.
That's right, they're not locked out.
Pardon me?
They're not locked out, they have a
Right, they have another option.
Right.
And I am going to that strategic meeting that's
Well,
coming.
that's what we need to do.
It's common. If you go up to the railroad tracks in Aurora where 82 crosses, they just redid all the crosswalks there and asphalted it back towards Manaway.
Oh, yeah.
So it's common this way.
Actually, I can't wait to ride on the trail.
Yeah, there you go. You better be careful.
Yeah.
I'll get one of those, no, I'll get one of those glasses.
It is
Okay, we'll move on.
to diagonal.
We'll move on. So the BZA sent us a copy of their overdue bylaws, which was 10 years in the making, and they gave us a half a page bylaws. So Joni, I spoke with Joni today, she called me, I sent them a revised bylaws, and she said that she would present it to the board. And I think those will satisfy the BZA now and into the future. So. Occupancy permit for the school. We have contacted Chris Maduri. Chad, we're not called Chris Maduri again. Asked Chris for a meeting. Hasn't heard back from Chris. In the meantime, we have gotten 300, well, we're waiting for them. Regional Planning has sent us all of their public records pertaining to the school. And the school, in particular, the elevator. I am waiting for that public records to come through. The commissioners have not sent theirs in yet. Julie had put together a spreadsheet of all the resolutions that the trustees have made since 2015 when this whole debacle started. And we didn't find one resolution by the trustees that we said it was okay to take out the utilities to put that elevator. So we're waiting on that. Again, the county is not our friend again on this. So we're going to have to just play it by the rules and then see what happens. I don't know what else we can do. But anyway, that's where we're at now with the occupancy permit. So we do have the we're able to have assembly for the annex, which is good because the annex is a nice part of the building and it's, we're there. So we're having a little bit of an issue with the health insurance reimbursement plan.
Okay.
A little bit.
Well, it's been like that for 2 years.
I'm getting ready to drive to Austin County to see if they exist.
See,
I was gonna go to.
someone's very angry.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the one that has to do
And
it.
I had Debbie on them also, and she's not getting any. I'm literally, I have to drive there and see if they're actually a building.
So there's a disconnect between the towns. So we have that reimbursement program. So if Dan or Brian, whoever's on insurance, goes to the doctor, gets a bill, they give it to the fiscal officer, she has to send it to the clearinghouse because she can't write a check out of the general fund because the IRS wants to know, why are you writing checks out of the book for this? So the company that we've had in the past, we've been using them, and they have fell silent and won't answer. Juliet sent
We
them
have
a check for
$6,000 in there.
$6,000. We can't get them to answer the question.
What's Debbie saying?
She started getting on them.
She said, we're going to try.
So I'm gonna try it. Like I said, my next phone, it's like phone call, email every other day for the last 3 weeks.
So the next step is,
We have to get the prosecutor.
the next step is lawsuit, I guess.
Once she disperses that 6,000, Debbie's gonna find another company. But I'm gonna get that one here first.
So they charge us a small fee, like $25.
To do it.
No wonder they were.
I don't even know how they stand business with that.
Right, because we're probably the only client that has to go through. Any questions on it?
Hey, gentlemen.
I have on here summer help. I know you had a question about summer help. I'm not looking for any kind of like 9 to 5. Just need a little bit of help to straighten things out in the cemetery. I need a person to help me with getting some of those graves cleaned up and all that kind of stuff that takes time. And I don't want to take it away from the guys because they're out there doing the summertime stuff. And I'm not looking for anything, but Michelle did volunteer to do it on her pay scale. I'm looking for something like 2 hours a day for 2 days a week.
Yeah.
If that's okay, I'd like to do that.
As long as Julia's okay with it.
Yeah, Michelle is planning it.
Well, Julia's trying, and actually, there's times that Julia sends her home,
Okay.
because they're caught up and there's nothing to do. But no, I didn't want any misconceptions that I was trying to put another guy
Okay. Because that's
in
where
there, because that would cause a lot of
Yeah.
issues. And
Well, hey.
I don't want to do that. So, the cemeteries are looking very nice, and I want to fix
It
them.
really looked nice for them out there.
Okay. Do you have any questions from the board on anything? Okay, let's move on to old business.
Talk.
The historic sign out front that we were supposed to have fixed like last year.
Yeah.
So they contacted Julia and says, hey, we got your sign.
Right.
Well, the sign is still
Sitting
there.
out there.
So they must have went somewhere else and took
Something,
something.
something, sign somewhere. If they took care of themselves.
And I have 4 emails saying, are you sure? And I'm walking over and taking a picture and they were sending it.
Well, there's a number on there, like 18-61, whatever the number is. If you take that and go to the historic sign thing on the Ohio
You can see
Historic,
exactly what's on
you
it.
put that number in there and it shows our sign. Right, so,
Okay, my question about hey, we have your sign. I wonder if that's the sign that Marcy is getting.
No,
No, she sent me a picture of the
Okay.
no, she even, no, she.
that she got off the historic.
Okay.
I saw.
Yeah, the proposal specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's just, there are enough ways to drop the cup,
Yeah, but my thing is, some communities missing the sign. I mean, that's what gets me. You would think that, it's like, hey,
I mean, if our sign was missing, it's like,
come
we're
down,
not.
if they receive the sign, they have to tell you where it's from,
Right.
you know?
Well, the issue was, we were supposed to take the sign off
The guy.
and put it
the guys
in
are
a crate.
supposed to-
Crate
they're
it
supposed
up,
to
so
let
they
us
can.
know
Right.
when they're coming.
So anyway, so if anybody contacts you, Mr. Becker,
Say, hey,
I
sign.
have no idea.
To trade with them.
Yeah, right.
And they said they took it in December.
The Park Pavilion update, really nothing. We have to do a site survey to satisfy the county. They didn't like the application we sent them, so they nixed it. So we're working on that. We already talked about the septic system. Columbarium, we were offered that columbarium from Greens. It's a nice columbarium. We have to provide transportation, which is very heavy. And we still have to talk about where we want to put that one. We're coming up on August, and we made somewhat of an agreement between us that we were going to go forward with the 2 purchase those. And we really need to move on that because in August, their
Sale goes off.
the sale is off, and it's a very nice sale. So, I will put that on new business for next. We really need to do that.
I think we're gonna be surprised at how much that's gonna cost to transport.
Those were you mean the one in Greens?
Yeah.
I don't know, that thing probably weighs a lot. But that's not the point, we want to figure out where to put it.
Yeah, right.
And the guys can go out there and they can put the foundation down, and then they got to set it on there.
Yeah, I think it was-
But it was a very nice gesture on it.
Oh, I think they swing that a little bit. I mean, they can put that in swing, and roll back or whatever.
We could probably get someone local to do it.
Yeah.
And we have to check what Frank said.
That's my deal, with the record. What's that?
Frank said there might be people in there.
Yeah, there might be.
He thought he swore there was.
What?
He said he remembered from 20, 30, 40 years ago that somebody was in there.
No,
I told him, he told me.
if you look at Green's funeral home, he's got all kinds of different things set up. He's got a columbarium set up, and he's got like a bench that you could buy from him, and all kinds
Yeah, I
of.
know. It's just he swears somebody's in there.
Yeah, but that's nice. That's a nice columbarium. That's got 42 spaces in it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, I just wanted to bring that
That's
in.
funny.
Here's something for you, Catherine. Outdoor speed signs.
Yeah, hey, whenever they want to put them up. I asked them to put them up a month ago for the ball fields. I said, I don't care, remember the last meeting, I said, I don't care about nailing center or about Mullen Road or Grand Truck because school's out, but they need to get them installed.
Well, and I understand, they've been busy.
They have, I know. So, but yeah, they could get 2 of them up here on Mantua Center.
Right. Okay, one more thing on your agenda. Can we get a CPR,
Yeah.
AED training session?
Yeah, you want to in the fall? We'd like to do it.
I don't know, I think they only want to do it with like, they don't want a whole bunch of people.
Right, just our little,
I think that's, yeah.
maybe we could invite Sherwood
Yeah,
Township.
Tim wants to go.
I'd like to do that training.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Well,
It's not just that, it's not that, it's that AED back there too. We got them in all our buildings.
right.
Some people don't know how to use it. They say, oh yeah, just follow the directions.
Right, well, I tell them, in all fairness, if you take that out and open it up, they tell tells you
Oh, you
exactly
said it
what to
talks, yeah.
do. It talks to you, it talks you through it, it does.
I
get
I understand.
Yeah.
But when a guy's laying on the ground, you know,
He's probably already had it.
people are like scurrying around, like, what the hell are you doing?
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
That's
It's not like
gonna be the dummy.
Right. Thanks. I got it.
Okay. It would be nice to see it.
Yeah, I don't wanna make light of this, but really, it's really important.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Really, really is. I mean, we have events here, and
So, maybe we
we
can
have events over at the school, you know, all kinds of different stuff, and, you know, we need to know, okay, you open the thing and start, you know, people are screaming, you know, maybe you don't hear that, you know what I mean? So, anyway, see if we could set that up.
Sure.
Now, do we have any questions for old business? I was hoping that Rich Hanna would be here today because we have a lot to talk about zoning wise. That's it. We're going to do public comment first of all.
That's where we're at.
It's not bad.
Public comment. Mark, Paul.
Just two quick items. Next Friday dinner will be the 13th of June. It's next Friday. Of course, that runs 4 to 7 for that. The other thing I wanted to follow up with, Matt, did you let the guys know to check out the possible culvert plate collapse?
Oh, yeah, John and I looked at it as well. John and I looked at it as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It looked like an 8-inch, if I'm not mistaken. It looked like an 8-inch.
What?
It looked like an 8-inch culvert coming across there. It doesn't look like it's that big.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, we, him and I went down there at the meeting, actually. And looked at it next day.
I didn't see anybody.
Is it getting worse?
I got here a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit worse, but it's still passable. I just want to make sure, you know, I know the guys are busy and whatnot,
Right, right.
but
I'll tell Brian again to go out and take a look at that. So, we did mention it to him when we came back, did we not?
I thought so.
Yeah.
okay.
All
That's
right.
it for me for this evening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Carol?
Well, actually, you were generous enough to let me insert the things that I wanted to say. I mean, you know, what I had to say was relevant to the discussion at the time, so for once I have nothing. Other than that.
I think one other time we had so, Laurie, come on in.
Hi, thank you.
Have a seat, we'll be right with you.
Okay,
Right in the middle of public comments, so we've got a
Yes.
couple of minutes.
my apologies.
Mary,
So when you moved your meeting to the 10th, our meeting gets bumped then. Because that's our meeting night. So
what
there's that.
time's your meeting?
What?
What time's your meeting?
7:30.
Boys got me up.
Oh, we could get out of here by then.
I
Just
see the
don't
time
don't call
now.
the meeting, don't call the meeting off.
Okay.
Because it's going to be 6 o'clock and
When we started early, when we go 5:30 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, we can make it. We don't have to
Yeah.
hurry. Well, they can't get here until later.
okay, we're good.
The 6 o'clock is pushing it away. Are there any other, this is not me, somebody approached me. Are there any plans to put the sidewalk back in over there?
Sidewalk back and over where?
Over there, that got taken out?
No,
No?
no. That sidewalk was accident to be happening. It's always all uneven and,
Well, I know, but if it was put back in new, it wouldn't be uneven.
we don't have any plans to do that.
Okay, I know some people had to ask me if it was, when that was going to be replaced. And the other is that,
Are you there, Spokesman?
old people, yes. I am the old people spokesman. Always. And,
All right, we'll put it this way, we'll consider it.
okay. And then maybe you could consider some smaller size gravel that old people can walk on, because this is tough.
Anything else?
I'm sorry.
Well, I can tell you, in the near future, it's gonna be probably paved.
So we're looking for that. Yeah. We're looking to get this whole place paved. But we got it.
Would that help you?
We got a sewer system
That would
coming in,
help the old
so yeah.
That would help the old people.
Yeah.
You could have valet service.
Oh,
They
I,
drop them at the door and park.
you would be surprised how much that does happen already.
Hey, did I miss anybody on public comment?
I've got a question, I didn't sign up, but the roundabout that got put in, I'm sure the state's probably supposed to take care of that. That thing looks terrible.
It does.
We fight all the time.
I don't know how many phone calls I personally made to them. The guys from across the street at the bar, they get a little looped up and they come over and they start decorating the trees that are on the roundabout.
Christmas.
Well, it would look better than what's there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Those aren't even trees, those are weeds.
no, it's all weeds and they're getting
And
to be about 2 foot.
they won't do it. I mean, I called the head of the Akron ODOT. Hey, yeah, well, we'll look into it.
This isn't, for.
I'll just take my weed eater up there and take care of
They've
it.
done, somebody's done that before.
Yeah. That's the problem, that it's on a county road and a state road. We have no,
Well, I knew you guys didn't have nothing to do with it, but it just like,
Mark Griffin's who you want to talk to from the state.
Who?
Mark Griffin.
give me his number, I'll call him.
Okay.
anybody else? No? Okay, I want to introduce Heidi Workman, who's here. She is our House Representative for the District of 72, our new one,
Yes.
and she wants to talk to us about certain things.
Yeah. Is this fine?
This is fun.
Awesome.
Relax, yeah, we're,
This is a beautiful building. I haven't been in here yet.
no,
Very
well, we
nice.
hope you come back.
Yes, well, of course I will. It's good to be here. Hello, everyone. So things are really busy in Columbus, and there's a lot going on. So I am making my rounds in the district, not just to say hello and talk about concerns or anything you might need, but also to give you an idea of everything that's happening there. Unfortunately, Portage County Media does not carry my State House press releases. They will not report on my news, which is fine, but because of that, I'm hitting the streets because I want to be out and tell everyone the really great things that we're doing for you. I guess I kind of want to open up the floor to you guys. There's so much I could go on. I kind of want to use it as an open forum, if that's okay. There's some big news on the property tax front, if you guys want me to kick that off. And then you can let me know what it is that you have concerns with, and I can see if I can help address those. So I almost did not come in tonight, so we had a huge bill drop on Wednesday, just yesterday, in the Ohio House of Representatives, and I was afraid that I would not be equipped enough to inform you of everything that this new bill includes, but it is an omnibus, massive property tax reform bill. And it is rolling in, I think, somewhere around 4 to 7 different property tax reform bills into one, and we're putting it into our budget. So this means that as soon as the governor signs it in July, it will become effective and kick in almost immediately for the next cycle of property taxes. So I wanted to give you an idea what this will include. I am not the expert speaker on this, so please bear with me. But I will give you a synopsis of what these bills will do. And maybe our trustees are familiar. Are you familiar with the?
No, I heard about it, but I've not.
The new bill,
Yeah, we just.
yeah, we've been hearing a lot about what's coming up in November too, so.
Yes, and exactly.
And they, yeah, go ahead.
On top of that, there's a ballot initiative to completely eliminate taxes in Ohio, the state of Ohio entirely. So I just had Governor DeSantis at the Ohio State House. I brought him up, and he was a wonderful, down-to-earth, really great guy, but I had some private time with him, and I asked him, how is it possible in Florida that you can entertain complete elimination of your property taxes while still having zero income tax in the state? And he said the reason why they can do that, and we do not have that luxury in Ohio, is that they welcome 153 million visitors a year for holiday and vacation, and they spend a lot of money. So Florida's coffers are full. Unfortunately, not everyone goes to Ohio to vacation, so we don't have that luxury, but there's more work that we can do, and let me give you a rundown of what is moving in the House right now. So if I go too fast, just stop me, and I'll try to explain. House Bill 28 eliminates the authority to put replacement property tax levies on the ballot. So we can still put levies on, but this is going to provide transparency for the voter. Any renewal levy that you see on the ballot is going to be an increase in your property taxes. So the replacement property taxes made it look as if this was just an old tax and wouldn't be an increase on your bills. We're eliminating that, and we're saying no more replacement taxes. This is all just going to be renewal taxes if you want to put something on the ballot. So that's one change that we made, increasing transparency.
Could I interrupt 1 second?
Yes.
Okay, so now you're saying the renewal will increase our budget as well? That
Yes.
brings everything up to par?
The renewal.
And that makes sense, you're taking off the replacement if you're gonna do that with a renewal.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
House Bill 129 modifies the this is a big one. Modifies the calculation of the 20 mil floor. Is anyone familiar with what the 20 mil floor is? You see, these state terms, they get so convoluted and difficult to understand, and I don't even know. Mind you, I've been in Columbus for 5 months, so please bear with me. The 20 mil floor is how we're funding our local school districts. So our school districts are guaranteed by law to receive 20 mils of funding for all property taxes in their districts. In Portage County here, that equates to somewhere between 60 and 70% of our property tax bill. So there are only 2 school districts in my district, excluding Aurora, in Streetsboro, that are at the 20 mil floor, or not, that are above the 20 mil floor, my apologies. Every other school is at the 20 mil floor. So that means when your valuation goes up, the schools get that increase. If they are above the 20 mil floor, they do not get that increase. So it's a lower percentage. Usually what we're seeing is that's in wealthier communities. They're above the floor. House Bill 186 addresses the broader school funding formula and property tax interaction. It seeks to reduce taxpayer burden by shifting the weight of local school funding off property owners where possible. So that's a good one. House Bill 309, this one is really big. It revises processes related to placing levies on the ballot and enhances taxpayer transparency. The big thing in this is it addresses and expands the authority and the oversight of the County Budget Commission. Is anyone familiar with that? Okay, on our County Budget Commission, every county has one, sits our county auditor, the county treasurer, and right now it's the county prosecutor. So those 3 members, they have oversight of all county expenses. So basically they can audit the county books. And they can say, you know, in this case, like what we experienced with these recent increases, they can say, no, thank you, we're not going to accept this unvoted increase in property tax millage. And they can return it back in property tax cuts. So our County Budget Commission is really influential in being able to keep our prices low. However, a lot of times they're hesitant to push back because there's just such a need in many cases for additional funding. It's kind of that adage that whenever you did something, you can't take it back. So it's a really difficult situation that we're in. Currently, Ohio spends over $2 billion annually subsidizing local property taxes. And as taxpayers face steeper bills, this is going to be a bigger and bigger concern for us. Homestead exemption, this is a big one because this is where we can really protect our seniors and our disabled veterans. House Bill 22 grants a full property tax exemption to surviving spouses of military service members who were killed in the line of duty. So this is a big expansion for those Gold Star spouses. The benefit continues unless the spouse remarries or cohabitates with someone else. House Bill 40 increases the enhanced homestead exemption for totally disabled veterans, 100% disabled, from $56,000 to $100,000 of home value if the household income is total household income is under $125,000. House Bill 61, it replaces current homestead exemptions with flat tax credits. This is a $750 credit for most qualifying homeowners. This gets really detailed. Do you guys want to know all these details, or am I overwhelming you?
No, you're good.
I keep going? Okay. $1,500 credit for disabled veterans and surviving spouses. Those credits are indexed to inflation, and the reimbursement to local governments for lost revenue is reduced to 50% to help balance the state funding. So this is the big part and what just dropped in the House on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Mind you, as a member of the House, we were just notified this was going to happen on Tuesday. So less than 24 hours later, this dropped to the public. So this is huge, and it's going to create a firestorm. You're going to hear about it all over the news. So you're my first township that I've spoken to about this, of course, since yesterday. It's called the Property Tax Relief Now Act. It creates real savings, real relief right now. And I'm just going to read through this because, again, I'm like 48 hours within the time that I just found out about it. Ohio homeowners are being crushed by rising property taxes, and we hear about it constantly from constituents. That's why the Ohio House has made property tax reform a top priority. The Property Tax Relief Now Act is a comprehensive package of legislation that delivers real, immediate relief and long-term structural reform. This is the biggest property tax reform legislation we've had since 1970s, 50 years. Altogether, it will provide over $4 billion in property tax relief, with benefits starting as early as January. So the relief plan provides direct relief to about about $3.5 billion, and that's going to go directly to taxpayers across the state. It's going to end surprise tax hikes, so no more of what we just experienced with the 33% increase. By the way, I have someone in my township whose property value went up 117%, and he's elderly. So for the first 4 months from January till he had to pay his bill, he couldn't even pay his medications on Medicare. So he had to delay taking his medication to be able to pay his property taxes. So this is real, this is happening, we have to do something. So when you hear the media go crazy about this, I'm gonna say, sorry, but we have to do something. We can't have our constituents being forced out of their homes or not being able to take their medication. So this will end surprise tax hikes. It stops unvoted property tax increases tied to rising home values, especially through school funding mechanisms like the 20 mil floor. This will it will provide clearer ballots, so voters will better understand what levies really cost and how they impact your taxes for every levy. It will provide stronger oversight. The county budget commissions, as I discussed, will be empowered to review local budgets and cut back excessive levies, especially when governments are sitting on large cash reserves. Speaking of cash reserves, our local school districts, again, just in my district, not Streetsboro, Aurora, and some of Mantua, they're sitting on $38.1 million in unused cash reserves in our schools. So that's something that we were trying to take a look at, but this big new one is going to completely eliminate all that. The county budget commissions will be empowered to review local budgets and cut back on levies, and especially the governments that are sitting on large cash reserves. Local homestead exemptions, counties can offer targeted relief to seniors and vulnerable residents without needing new state dollars. So that's at the county levels, Raleigh County Commissioners. Voter empowerment, most unvoted property taxes, except for townships, townships are the exception here, will be eliminated. Unvoted property taxes will be eliminated. It will be a thing of the past. What we just went through will be illegal, giving residents more control over what they pay. Balanced funding options, it gives local governments new tools like voter-approved sales tax increases to reduce dependency on our property taxes. So this is the most significant property tax reform effort since 1976. And I'm proud to co-sponsor key parts of it, including some of these bills that I already told you about. I've already co-sponsored them. Together, these bills are aimed at creating a fairer, a simpler, and a more transparent tax system for all of you and all of us, me included. And then I have a few other things I'm working on. E-check is a big one. I also have some a medical bill that I'm working on, and I'm also working on a bill to put age verification parameters around access for children online, so that we're protecting our kids with digital content. And that's my update. So, there's a lot.
Yeah, you do.
I'm actually shocked that your school system has $36 million reserve, because I don't know of any school system in Portage County that's sitting on any kind of money like that. And if it's not the property owners that are paying for your schools, that's why they can't pass levies.
Yeah, this is going to completely change the way levies are put on the ballot, but you're going to be able to keep more of your money and make a clearer, more informed decision at the ballot box, because believe me, the levies will hit you. But you're going to know what they're for and what they're going to cost you.
I have trouble following everything you were saying. Is there any place where, short of going to bill after bill after bill, that it's going to be possible to read about this stuff?
Well, you're going to see it in the news. Unfortunately, we do not have a uniform marketing campaign that's going out across the state, so it's basically representative by representative. Like I said, you're my first. You're the first to hear this. But otherwise, you can follow the Ohio House social media pages. There's the Ohio House GOP.
I don't do social media. I'm not going to screw around with that.
I understand, and I'm with you. The problem is the media, the actual newspaper, and the online news are not picking up my stories. So all I can do is get out and hit the streets and talk to people. Unfortunately, I'm running solo. And if you're not on social media, I don't know how to reach you guys. Do you have email?
Yes.
We could do email. I'll add you to my email list.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay, I can see you after.
I've had people ask if they could if they could use government resources, local government resources, to share my news. And unfortunately, there's some, it may be political, affiliation, I don't know, that they're not able or willing to do that. So we'll keep in touch with you.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry. I'm on my own, guys. Go ahead.
Two questions. Number one, as far as your newsletter and whatnot, have you contacted the Portager here in Portage County?
Oh yeah, they get my
Okay.
press releases every day, and they don't carry them.
The second item was when you were talking about levies, there used to be, or what currently is, you can have a new levy, you can do a renewal of a levy, and then you have a replacement levy. Now, what you're telling us is that replacement levy is going away.
Yes.
The renewal levy is going to effectively become a replacement levy because the taxes are going to go up,
Yeah.
correct?
A renewal levy on the ballot will mean that your rates are going up. There's nothing in between anymore that can be deceptive.
So how do you keep a levy? Because what the gentleman did here earlier today was pass or submit for a renewal of our current, what is it, 1.5 mil road levy,
Yeah.
which expires this year, and they just want to maintain the same dollar amount that the levy originally did.
Right.
So how do they do that?
So this bill has not kicked in yet. It is not law. So we will not actually have all of this in place until the governor signs it. So I think that would come sometime in July. And I believe it kicks in sometime maybe
90 days.
October. So by October is when renewals will go away.
for development.
Right, because you need to have that bucket in there.
Yeah.
For, when you say, to keep the levy going at its original, value that it was set for. Because what you're sharing here is, these guys just went through and said, we're gonna do a renewal, and it's gonna become a replacement, and they said, we're not gonna raise the taxes.
Why do you think we said we were gonna do a renewal? We already knew this, no.
Yeah, so, they're caught in a catch-22 here,
Yeah.
is that,
I know,
When the
it
governor
is
signs
everyone in
it-
a difficult situation.
it's gonna go against their word of what they committed to us, the public, that they aren't gonna raise our taxes.
Yeah.
So,
You can rest
I'm
assured
very
that
concerned
we'll go
with
down.
Because it expires, then you don't have it, and then with this replacement, then you'll have the same amount, if I'm understanding correctly, right?
And again, I'm not an auditor, and I can't
Right.
say there are a lot of different levies that can be out there, so I can't speak to that without, being confident, but, I just know that the replacement on the ballot is going away, so every new tax levy or any levy that might increase your taxes will now be the renewal. So it's new levy or renewal, right? Those are the two options.
so what do we do about the existing levy? That's the whole,
They will
that
expire.
needs to be filled.
I'm
They expire, they'll be
thinking
done.
that they will, yeah. I'm not,
Makes
again, this just came out at me Tuesday.
I don't foresee, by the time we get our paperwork in, that law will not be law.
No.
So we'll be good because our renewal is for 5 years.
Oh,
I don't know if that's gonna make a difference. By the time our renewal goes in,
right.
I think we'll be safe, maybe for this year, right? But
I
that
would
is,
have to
that is
double
kind
check
of,
that.
that seems like kind of an underhanded kind of.
And
kind of
again,
deal there. I
it may
mean,
be that those are safe
right.
once they're in, it's just once this law kicks in, then all of the standard is now based on this.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So there's petitions going around to
Eliminate,
eliminate all property taxes.
correct.
Now, instead of the government down there in Columbus would say, you know what, maybe we should just do like the seniors don't have to pay. That might but that's not what they did. You're saying that all they did was get rid of $2.9 billion. That's like peanuts. That's nothing.
2.9 billion,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
For everybody in Ohio
Not for
to
John.
split them?
That's peanuts.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
this is gonna be for real. This is not, these people out here are tired of paying
I know,
property.
I know.
We didn't lease our property from the government.
I know.
We paid for that.
I know. And I understand.
And so
Yeah.
this $2.9 billion, you guys just spent $600 million on a stupid stadium.
I was not for that, by the way, on the record.
I mean, come
I
on.
told leadership I'm against it, and they forced it through anyway.
No, I'm not blaming you. I mean, you
Well,
just
sir.
started.
If they're taking 2.9 billion out of this, they gotta
And
make
you're
it
gonna
up
put
here.
Yeah.
So it's gonna come somewhere else, so
Yeah.
you're not gonna get out of it either way.
No, I'm gonna vote against it. I'm gonna vote against property.
Well, here's the thing, the ballot initiative is coming like a freight train.
Right?
If they can get the 410,000 signatures that they need by, I think, the beginning of July, it will be on the ballot this November, and if it is, we will have everyone, it will pass.
Not only
Overwhelming.
that, if they don't get the 400 and some thousand ballot, they can keep getting the signatures to go on to the next May's ballot.
Well, I think it does refresh with each cycle. It will refresh, it will start over.
That's what I-
But if it doesn't happen this year, it will happen, it will come. That's why we have to get this right.
And then again with the schools, that's unconstitutional. You're not even supposed to.
Yeah, 30 years ago, the Ohio Supreme Court ruled that it was unconstitutional for 30 years. The governor's office did nothing, and all of a sudden, when the initiative takes off like a freight train, they drop this on you and say,
I
hey,
know.
here's some things we got, but
Well,
we're gonna help people.
okay.
I don't trust Governor DeWine.
There's another piece to this, Terry. I was at a meeting at the school school, Christian school, while Kathleen Chandler was still in office. And that was after the Supreme Court had said that the funding for schools was unconstitutional. And she just sort of threw up her hands and said, well, they said that we have to fix it, but they didn't tell us how to fix it. I thought that's what the legislatures were supposed to do.
The school funding, my aunt was a treasurer in Virginia for a big school system in Virginia.
Okay.
And I was telling her how we fund our schools. She goes, I can't believe that. In Virginia, what they do, everybody pays their taxes or your school funding goes to the county. The county distributes that money evenly amongst every school system based on the amount of students. So you don't have someone that has like an Aurora or your school system that's sitting on $36 million that obviously has too much money. It's all even across the board and you have to live within that budget. And that's the only way it's going to work and be fair.
So I'm just going to give you a really quick contextual analysis of what we're looking at with public school funding. So first of all, less than half of the teachers union these days are actually teachers. This is all data from the state auditor's analysis of school funding. Less than half are actually teachers. Meanwhile, since COVID, enrollments have decreased in our public schools, but administrative costs have escalated inversely. So we're going like this, okay? Administration, school enrollments. So there's something terribly wrong, but the school funding, the fair school funding formula required a base cost analysis to educate every child in Ohio. And today in Ohio, the schools are asking for somewhere around $8,300 per child. We have over 3.1 million children in the public school system, so you can do the math. $8,300 in Ohio, but I speak to people involved in the school funding systems in other states, and they're down around $3,500, $4,000 per child. So my question to the schools every time is, why is our base cost so high to educate our children? And they never have an answer.
That's per child per year?
Per child per year. Doesn't even include the categorical aids like gifted programs, IEPs, non-English speaking, transportation, maintenance of the schools. This is just salaries, administrative costs, and technological, things that we need just base costs for each child. So that's devastating. Something is terribly wrong with how we're educating our kids in Ohio schools.
Well, we're not.
There's
We're
something
paying
terrible.
a premium and getting a terrible product out of it,
Our kids
honestly.
can't even read coming out of 8th grade.
I'm a prime example of that.
And I love our teachers.
Well, Graham, I went to Crestwood too, and I
Yeah, but you can read. I slipped through the cracks. And
I think you're just fine, right?
thank God for pictures.
So let me just wrap this up, because I don't want to take more of your time. If this ballot initiative does hit the ballot in November, this is going to completely and totally devastate local government. You have to understand that property taxes today, every single dollar, every single penny stays at the local level. Nothing goes to the state in your property taxes. It completely funds local government. If you eliminate property taxes, and this is what I'm telling everybody, you eliminate property taxes, you eliminate your local representation, period. Your local services, your local schools, your local elected officials, they're wiped out, and they become subservient to the state for funding. I am against that 100% because I believe in small government. I believe people like you who are here representing the needs of your community and you're closest to the people. This is the true representation of a federal, of a constitutional republic. And I'm against the power and authority going to the state level for local government funding.
Well, I was at the meeting in March or something that was supposed to be about real estate taxes. And that was jaw-dropping. They wanted to abolish all property taxes.
Same group,
Every
by the way.
penny. Pardon?
It's the same group. That's
Right,
is on the ballot.
right, well, the fingerprints are real clear. And abolish all property taxes. Okay, how do you pay for roads? How do you pay for, so if you have zero income, what do? You maintain your own road? What about a fire department?
Fire department, sheriff's department, police departments, what do you
Yeah.
think it does?
So it was,
Search departments?
yeah, I'm just gonna be real blunt. It was wacko.
Does that get paid
Those
out of
people
property
were
tax?
nuts.
All your services?
But I have to tell you that it's because of this ballot initiative that the fire is lit under state government. We would not be proposing this massive property tax reform, the largest in 50 years, if it were not for this ballot initiative forcing it.
Well, you know, there are a number of things that should be reformed, and it's easier just to yammer about them than to reform them. You know, it's hard work. Because, okay, good luck, seriously, good luck on the real thoughtful reforms. You know, we've had enough of chainsaw massacres or systems that may be a little bit lame, but they're, you know, they don't have both legs broken for God's
So
sake.
on average, if this becomes law, this big omnibus bill, our taxpayers, every single taxpayer across the state of Ohio will save on average $850 in their property tax bills.
That would be nice.
That equals 3.5 billion statewide.
Okay, now I have one more question. This 36 or $38 billion, is that actually the total of funds that have been allocated to the schools, but they have not yet spent? Is that what that's about?
The 38.1 million?
Yeah.
That is currently in all the public school districts' cash reserve accounts, unencumbered cash reserves.
Okay.
It's being saved at the public school level in my district, not in Steve
Yeah,
Beatrice's
right.
district. Being saved at the school level for maintenance costs, you know, if something comes down the line, it's like their rainy day fund.
Mhm.
They're holding on to it instead of essentially taking a tax cut, a tax rate cut to be able to return those funds back to the populace.
Okay.
Bypass
But it's not necessarily the kind of slush that it could be presented as.
The schools say they need it. The schools say that they're being fiscally responsible by saving their money.
Yeah, okay.
And it's true, many of our schools are 25 years old. They need new HVAC systems, they need new roofs, they, you know, their schools are, you know, repair is not cheap. But again, when we have decreasing enrollments and increasing administration costs, something's gotta give. You know, when we have schools that only have 88 graduating students, is that worth, you know, a $9 million per year fund? We are gonna have to make some really hard decisions.
They're gonna be consolidated. That's what
But you say consolidation of the schools and they about,
Oh, I know, people don't wanna hear it, but the bottom line is that you can't have, we dealt with this down in southern Ohio. They got, you know, Graysville had their school, Woodsfield, Dellsville, and they realized they couldn't afford to operate them all. And the school boards all decided to consolidate them, and I thought they about had a lynching down there. But once they did it, and they realized how much money it saved, it was beneficial to everybody, but nobody likes change.
exactly. Well, this big, beautiful reform bill,
It's gonna be a little change.
it's gotta bring change and, you know, a lot of people are not gonna like it. So I'm here to tell you firsthand, this change is going to provide a lot of relief for our property taxpayers. But local government is not gonna like it. I'm already getting pushback from our commissioners and I try to keep them immediately informed. So,
Well, thank you.
it's my pleasure.
I have one question for you. Can we, not tonight, but we probably have some questions that Columbus can help us out.
Yes.
Can we get your ear on a couple of things that are down the road? Because we do have some issues that we need.
Oh, yeah,
We need a little bit more clarity.
Yes, please reach out to me and we'll take every question you have. Thank you.
Are you gonna come to the Portage County Township Association meetings?
I thought I just missed that. I don't get invitations to a lot of things. But if you reach out and you send me an actual invitation, I can go.
Yeah, we want you to come.
Yes. Here, I will give it to you guys as well. Yes, nice to meet you. I'm sorry.
Go with your.
Absolutely, Uncle John.
Thank you for voting on the Farm Bureau insurance bill too.
Yes. I also co-sponsored a 4-H show to let children, the kids in school.
Oh, for school, yes. Yeah, we were pretty excited about that, yeah. Yeah, it's gone through our chat at Farm Bureau.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Please reach out and we'll talk about it. Thank you. said, oh, we only carry news from the state. And I looked at her and went, I am the state news. And she said, oh, no, we need only news from the Columbus Dispatch. And the Columbus Dispatch is extremely lefty. So our media is lost, I just think.
Doing groups.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very
I'm so
much.
sorry, I haven't been
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, we're still in session, so.
So if I'm following you on Facebook, she gave me the Facebook site, I can get all the information on Facebook. Okay. That's all.
That's my official page, I don't have to have it. I'm managing working for Ohio. That's the one I'm actually able to communicate directly with.
I'm not picking up reception.
Okay, everybody, we're still in session here, so we have Rich Gale here as our esteemed zoning inspector, and he's got some business to attend to.
I do. Not a lot. You're past that, but it says 24 on top. I'll fix that. They're all 25 permits. Of course, it's been busy as usual. A lot of Mylars, a lot of property splits, a lot of questions, a lot of appraisal questions, a lot of realtors, a lot of questions about a certain property on Bartlett Road that has like a culvert running through the middle of it. And everyone's asking about county utilities and being able to look up to them there, because I know that across the street is development. So I got about 3 or 4 calls on that. I'm sending them all to water resources and stuff, and soil and water for the other. There was an email, someone had heard explosions. They sent it to the village, and she forwarded it to me, the mayor did. Chamberlain area?
Yeah, there's always explosions in Chamberlain. Somebody,
On the Robin Hood Trailer Park area this person lives?
no, these are different explosions. These are like big fireworks explosions.
Okay. It's hard to catch it, you know.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, I won't. I don't know how to handle. I'm looking into it. I'm going to do that somehow. I don't want to
Don't call the sheriff's department. I mean, what else you gonna do? Take it, something like that.
Yeah. The letters going out, I sent the prosecutor again the other day, reminding Brett, I said, you took care of this for me last time, and I did all 3 of them because I'm not sure who's doing what over there anymore. I'm not sure if they are either. And about sending them to the awnings. They're not responding to their requirement from the Board of Zoning Appeals for their conditional.
Oh, you're talking about the Dollar General?
Yep, and I text this person like I always did, usually a response, now it's nothing. So it was either this week or last week, I sent it out to them again, to nothing. So that's probably one that's going to go to Chad. Hopefully he can do something with it. I hate to do that, but.
If we already contacted somebody, Chad, it's not going to walk on somebody's.
They're not doing it the way they do it.
You're screwed, we're screwed. I mean, we could find someone that doesn't practice but I mean, you can ask.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into it because our county is doing nothing.
No, and I got your back on that.
Absolutely nothing. Another one's going to go out to the Euro junk. I got pictures of that.
Euro, yeah,
Euro.
you know what? These people just bought that house next to it. They spent $630,000 on their house. And they have to look at that. The thing, they got so much garbage and it's knocking their fence down into the yard. I live over there next door and they come driving up my driveway.
$600,000. Come on.
You be the one. So, I know we had issues with the owner for a long time. They clean up and then this time they're not doing anything.
Like they moved the camper off the road right away, and he left me a voicemail. The guy who was running, it's the tenant that ruins it for the landlord. But the landlord's one of the other day who suffers the penalty. So I'm gonna move forward with that. I don't think that's going to the prosecutor yet. McMillan, all the campers down there, just south of Winchell on the east side of the road on Mantua Center. Nothing moved. Another letter, you might have seen these in your emails. And same problem I've been having. SJGB Properties out of Bell Street, Bainbridge, owns that building on 44 north of 82 on the west side of the road where the guy had his pink insulation stored forever. Now it's a commercial business of landscaping.
It's like 5 or 6 trucks.
Yeah, 5 or 6 commercial trucks. We allow one. Debris all over the place again.
Rich, I'm sorry, is that the building just north of, what used to be the KFC hall?
A little bit.
It's a little further north.
It's where the pool was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
20.
right in front of where the
Okay, no, there's a building, I've always wondered what it was, it's got a lot of glass, and it looks like it ought to be a business, like a feed store.
No, that's their swimming pool.
That's a swimming pool.
That's
Oh, that's an indoor
It's brand new.
swimming pool.
Yeah.
So much for what I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an indoor swimming
Nice
pool.
pool.
I heard how much that costs.
So, yeah, you had conversations with the guy that had all the pink stuff there, right?
I did.
Did he have the big schools and all that?
The schools is down
Oh,
far.
that's another thing.
Yeah, this is the pink insulation, and he built a barn next to his own place, and his stuff is there now, just a few houses up from that. I dealt with these folks before the couple divorced, and I dealt with the lady on the phone, very nice, cleans up, doesn't clean up, refuses to respond. Now, here it is again, might be a different name, so that's the letters going in the mail. So those are 4 things that are going to go out. Maybe, hopefully, the prosecutor will answer, about the Dollar General. I don't know what else to do.
I know, yeah, I know. You know what, you have our permission to approach Chip.
I know you say that, and I'm
Something that's,
too.
but we have to know that any zoning issues, if you want to move fast before you even contact the county, you gotta contact Chip. Because once somebody else has it, there's some kind of secret law.
I can
or
see
something.
if there were charges pressed,
Well,
But can he press charges? Can he do that like a prosecutor? I'm gonna say it's Chad.
Chad, yeah, Chad.
It's a commercial business of landscaping on 44. Can he?
yeah, he can do it. I mean, he can do it. He writes good letters too. You know, we don't, how we are, like you are up in, we don't want to hurt anyone. But, I mean, if they're going to have a business like that and flaunt it in front of everybody, then, you can't tell one guy you can't do it.
Exactly. And it's been numerous times with the same. They ran it, they're not even from here. SGJB Properties, got like 10 acres of property, 5, 10, 20 acres, whatever it is back there. I had a question before, she wanted to separate something off and do something, whatever it wasn't permitted in that district. Like residential, as the letter says, that you might have read. So they're all going to go out to the right people. It's business as usual. I'm seeing some more junk motor vehicles and stuff. I got a list of things, but it's been busy, and
Most of the people, a good amount of people that you talk to generally take care of something. It's the people that aren't going to take care of it that are.
yeah, most people, do. It's a job to do. Fortunately, you may know about this. You probably should. I'm going to go, I'm going to be camping. I'm going on the 14th to Neocon, Vermont. That's the prosecutors meeting with zoning people or whomever, whatever. And Chris said, anybody got any, things to add that they want to do, for this? And I said, yeah. I said, I think a lot of people are questioning House Bill 315 and how do we implement it?
Absolutely, and I already wrote Chris and told him.
He said, you're just one of 2. He said, we'll bring it up.
Yeah.
You don't know how to do it.
I also invited the BZA chairman and chairman of the zoning commission to attend as well.
Good.
So, no, that's a good thing. That 315 would, if your zoning resolution isn't up, you're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, you try to excite somebody, they're gonna say, you don't have it in the book.
Well, for one, we have to get it in there. Even more important, I want to know how to implement it.
Right.
And just wave a finger and tell somebody right here, how does it work?
Well, we always thought because you called the sheriff. Is that what we thought? If you had it cited them, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to
It'd
that.
be very good. You gonna be there too?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I just want to make sure that everybody was invited anywhere that I work to answer, ask these questions and find your time to grow and maybe find out what the problem is. I mean, if you're too busy.
No, this is
Say
important.
something.
This is
Good Lord,
important.
coach us.
Yeah, we need to go. We need to go. Hey, so I have a question for you. Do we have is there, if a surveyor wants to survey properties along our roadway, do we have, is there a permit for that? I haven't seen, I don't know anything about it. Someone asked us for a permit to do survey.
No, people just do that. Be it municipalities or regular citizens. You just do your survey, it's your business.
I don't have, oh, I see the barn, they're cleaning up still cleaning up the debris, but it looks better.
Yeah.
You know, it looks better, so.
It's
Rich, the Mylar on Diagonal Road, are they split that into lots, is that what they're doing?
It was inherited. One's across the street,
Yeah.
and then this guy here's the guy.
Yeah, he does.
Son from an uncle.
Well, they're related.
Yeah, okay. Just so far, there was just divided twice. Well, actually, one was two somehow. It was added to one for the aunt, I think, the lady across the street. And his was just a regular. I didn't see any multiple splits from that big front end yet. That's what you're asking.
Yeah,
Okay.
hate to see that.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Yeah.
A lot of property there.
Good job as always, Richard. I don't have anything else to add. Are you making good use out of your new office over there?
When I'm there, yeah. A lot of, believe it or not, since COVID, it's become accustomed to, hey, sign it, scan it, sign it. And it usually goes back and like, you didn't sign it.
Right.
Then they'll do it, and I'll sign it, and I'll say, when your check comes to me, I'll scan it, send it back. So, so that seems to work. If not, when I'm there, yes, everything's very nice. A lot of compliments on that from people who come in as well.
Any questions for Richard? I do not. I do either. Good job as always, sir. I need to make a motion to pay all the bills for June.
I will second that motion.
Yes. We are going to be in executive session.
Right.
You want to stay?
How you been? I'm doing good. How's everything? I'm still working. Are you really? So am I.
Oh, you know what?
Doing all right? No luck with it. It's all good. I know, right?
What are you doing?
Just gonna stay busy. Good. Yeah. How you doing?
How are you?
I don't know what's happening.
It's our boat trail. It's our boat trail.
This
Do it.
It's all right, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it, yeah. So that,
Good seeing you. Okay.
we'll see you.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Motion on the table, Mr. Bernard.
What's that?
Motion on the table.
Sure.
Executive session.
Oh, executive session, sure. Second that.
You're now in. Okay, we're back from,
I'd like to make a motion to come out of executive session into our regular meeting.
I second the motion.
John?
Yes.
Yes. I would like to make a motion that we accept the Portage County Prosecutor's Office and the Portage County Engineer's Office a review of our bid books for the roadway project for 2025.
Second.
John?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to.
Second.
Hallelujah. John?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.